Good, happy Wednesday morning, May 26th, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Wednesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Wednesday morning, so let's begin. First up, Marilyn Manson wanted for alleged assault of videographer during New Hampshire concert. Police say singer is aware of the arrest warrant and has made no effort to turn himself in. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Cherise LeClaire.
The past year has tested the toughness of every last one of us. The head retractors have been there.
Well, Tom, that warrant was issued back in October of 2019. Police say Marilyn Manson and his legal team have been made aware of those charges for some time now, but he has not returned to New Hampshire to answer to them. 2 counts of misdemeanor assault stemming from this Marilyn Manson Rob Zombie concert at Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion on August 18th, 2019. Police say the charges involve Brian Hugh Warner, a.k.a. Marilyn Manson, and a videographer subcontracted by a New Hampshire-based company to video the concert. They say the charges are not sexual in nature. Deanna Roger was at the concert with her husband that night and was just a couple rows from the stage when she says she saw disturbing behavior by Manson that could be related to the charges.
He had just been randomly spitting on people, like out into the crowd, and then one time he spit on this camera woman. Not on her, but on her camera.
She said she saw this happen multiple times, with the videographer repeatedly cleaning her camera, Manson reportedly getting on all fours up close to her camera at one point and spitting at her from close range.
It was appalling and disgusting, and she was very, very mad, which I understand, because I would have been mad too, and disgusted. And then she grabbed her camera and she just stormed off.
Police have not said whether that was the incident that led to the charges. It comes as Marilyn Manson has come under fire, his record label dropping him earlier this year after his former fiancée, actress Evan Rachel Wood, alleged years of abuse, claims he has denied. Now, those charges carry a possible jail sentence of less than a year, as well as a $2,000 fine if Manson were to be convicted. Reporting live, I'm Cherise LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Two men arrested in Manchester Holiday Inn Express incident. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The past year has tested the toughness of every last one of us. The head retractors have been there for our...
This all started with that traffic stop in Goffstown. Then, 2 days later, police ended up here at this hotel on South Porter Street. Manchester police and several other agencies began looking for Brian Elliott after he was pulled over this weekend.
He ran from police and then he pointed a gun at an officer. So from that point forward, we were working with Goffstown police and other agencies trying to find him.
On Monday, police were able to track Elliott to this Holiday Inn Express in Manchester. Officers say he was inside one of the rooms, refusing to come out. Crisis negotiators tried to communicate with him.
While they were doing that, speaking to him on the phone, they also became aware of the fact that there were additional people outside the area of the Holiday Inn.
Police say Anthony Cook was hiding in the woods near the hotel. Officers ended up searching his car.
And they found 2 red cylindrical devices that later turned out to be homemade explosives, as well as some metallic knuckles. He was a felon in possession of these metallic knuckles, and he also had these devices, so he was charged accordingly because of that.
Cook told police Elliott had called him from the hotel. 2 more people were found in the area who also knew Elliott, but they were not charged. Police say Elliott eventually came outside and was arrested.
It was a long process. It took several hours, but in the end it was successful and no one was hurt. But of course, these sort of things can always go haywire, and it can be a lot worse than what it was yesterday.
Both Elliott and Cook had court appearances today. Reporting in Manchester, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Looks at man sentenced to a year in prison after hacking police department computers. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
The past year has tested the toughness of every last one of us. Mahindra tractors have been there for our tough.
31-year-old Wayne Kenny of Hooksett will serve federal prison time for hacking computers 6 years ago. According to prosecutors, he was arrested by Auburn police in 2015 for possession of heroin. He got a suspended sentence and had to go to drug counseling at the Farnham Center.
I expect that he was not happy with the Auburn police for simply doing their job.
Prosecutors say he retaliated by hacking their computers.
You can certainly disagree with law enforcement, but taking these types of actions, these destructive actions, is certainly inappropriate, and that kind of conduct simply can't be tolerated.
U.S. Attorney John Farley says Kenny used key logging software he made to steal employees' login information at Auburn Police and the town offices, then deleted files, defaced accounts, and caused pop-up messages that said he prayed for the death of the officer who arrested him. Court documents also say Kenny hacked the Farnham Center's website, preventing people from accessing treatment assistance and changing the 24-hour emergency phone number.
And basically shut down their ability to provide emergency drug treatment to needy individuals.
Kenny pleaded guilty to unauthorized access to a computer and damage to protected computers. He was sentenced to 1 year and 1 day in prison.
The computer hacking is a serious crime that has serious victims. And this man is now convicted of a federal felony and serving federal prison time for his really despicable conduct.
The FBI is saying tonight this case should serve as a warning to others. They will investigate all cyber crimes. In Manchester, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. NHDOE officials, districts await federal grant and guidance for spending COVID-19 relief funds. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Spring in New England is all about being active outdoors. Recover quicker and stay out longer with the rejuvenating qualities of a hot tub. The Somersworth School District hoping to do a $2 million upgrade on the ventilation systems in its middle and high school. Applications, approvals, and a vendor in place since April. Waiting ever since.
We don't gain approval this week, we'll probably have to postpone the project because there's no way we can get everything in and functioning and buttoned up by the time school opens in the fall.
Districts could apply for $156 million in school relief known as ESSER 2 funds starting in March. State Education Commissioner Frank Edelblue says so far 50 of the state's 185 districts have applied for a total $26 million. But so far, only $163,000 has been released.
They spend the money and then they come back and they say we spent the money and then we disperse the funds to them.
He says the issue with the Somersworth project and those in 3 other districts he's been working with is that they are construction related, a federal process much more onerous than they are used to. Compliance and guidance needed where they risk spending the money than having to give it back.
And so for about 6 weeks, we have been asking the U.S. Department of Education, this is the way this law was written. Can you confirm to us if this is in fact how you want us to apply that?
Late this afternoon, the U.S. Department of Education sent a statement to News 9 saying nothing stands in the way of states and districts using the funds in compliance with the law. In addition, we are issuing guidance this week that will address this specific question. And that's hopefully in the nick of time, not just for the Somersworth School District, but for Jaffrey, Manchester, and Lebanon districts as well. We're live in Ports with Jennifer Crompton, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. No new COVID-19 deaths reported in New Hampshire for third straight day. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Spring in New England is all about being active outdoors, recover quicker and stay out longer with the rejuvenating qualities of
Half of U.S. adults are now fully vaccinated against COVID-19 as states prepare for what's expected to be a very busy Memorial Day weekend. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Tom Griffith.
And I'm Monica Hernandez. Health experts say that's led to a significant drop in cases and deaths across the country. According to the CDC, out of the 101 million people who were vaccinated by April 30th, just over 10,000 had a breakthrough case of COVID-19. Today, New Hampshire reported 76 new COVID cases and no new deaths. Active cases are up slightly, but hospitalizations continue to drop.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. NYC Schools will be fully in person this fall. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC7 and why.
You broke your phone, so Verizon broke the rules. For the first time ever, trade in your damaged
On the big change for schools this fall, nearly 1 million New York City public school students will be able to attend traditional in-person classes this fall. The city will fully reopen schools without remote learning.
And in the latest push in the race to vaccinate, New Yorkers who get vaccinated at 10 state-run sites this week will get a lottery scratch-off ticket worth up to $5 million. Eyewitness News reporter Candace McCowan is live outside the Javits Center with more. Candace.
Yeah, David Sherlane, Mayor de Blasio saying the key to getting kids back in the classroom is getting everyone vaccinated. We have 8 million New Yorkers that have been vaccinated so far, and he expects that number to only go up over the coming months. And he says the key to getting the city back on the road to recovery is getting kids back in the classroom.
New York City Public Schools, 1 million kids will be back in their classroom in September, all in person. No remote.
Mayor de Blasio making the announcement on MSNBC this morning, giving parents and teachers plenty of notice about what is coming this September.
You can't have a full recovery without full strength schools, everyone back sitting in those classrooms, kids learning again. So that's what we're going to have in September.
Of the city's 1 million students, 60% of them continue to learn full-time remotely. Now the work is in reassuring parents that their students will be safe.
The answer is the first. We're going to welcome parents to come into the schools starting in June, see how much has been done to keep them safe, get reacclimated. We're going to do that throughout the summer, coming into September.
The United Federation of Teachers responding, saying that there's no substitute for in-person instruction. New York City educators want their students physically in front of them, but going on to say we still have concerns about the safety of a small number of students with extreme medical challenges.
or that small group of students, a remote option may still be necessary. This as the mayor announces more incentives to get New Yorkers vaccinated, announcing today that at city sites you can qualify for staycation packages, gym memberships, Broadway shows, and even 3-day passes to the Governor's Ball. A similar effort in place at state-run sites today through Friday, with anyone receiving their first dose getting a chance in the vaccine lottery to win $5 million. Which is motivating for some.
So I want to know if I can get me one of those tickets. I hope I win all of it. I need it for my space project.
I was going to get my shot anyway, but sure, chance to win money, I'd do it. Yeah, especially after this year.
Yeah, and when it comes to schools, the mayor says he is hoping that the CDC will relax its social distancing rule of 3 feet between each student as the summer goes on, as those infection rates continue to go down and the vaccination rates continue to go up. Now, I spoke with one teacher today who says it will be hard to return to the classroom after being out after 18 months. She says she is anxious but knows it is time. Live here.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this Wednesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.